What's going on, YouTube world? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you once again for tuning in. I'm Dusty, and as always, this is the Shred Academy. Now, in today's episode, we're going to be talking about the #1 problem people have when learning to jump and also stepping up to bigger, steeper lips. But before we get to that topic, I'd like to thank all of you that have supported me and gotten me to this point. In a few short months, we've been able to reach almost 6,000 subscribers. Literally 5,930 as of this morning. In 4 months, we can't thank you enough. Now we're entering our winter season, and we really need 2 channel sponsors to help get us through the winter. We're gonna be making content, still putting it out there. So if you'd like to help us make it through the winter, we reach almost 240,000 people a month between our YouTube and Instagram. If you'd like to tap into that market, we'd love to help you. And helping you would help us immensely. So please hit me up in the comments or send me an email. My email link is in the description. We'd really appreciate the support, as we always have, and we'd love to make it worth your while. Without further ado, let's get moving. Now that we've seen me hit a few jumps, smaller lips and steeper lips, let me say that I believe a successful jump starts with understanding the body movements of the bunny hop, more specifically, the J-hop. The J-hop is initiated by the front wheel lift and then finished with exploding off of that rear wheel, or jumping off of that rear wheel. Now, the hardest part of the bunny hop is the front wheel lift. It gives people the most problems. And that stems directly over to learning to jump or going off bigger lips. People have a problem of getting this upper body portion, which holds the majority of our body weight, out off of the front of the bike into that rear almost third of the bike to create that good counterweight to keep the front wheel going up as it leaves the lip. A lot of people want to keep that chest down because they feel safer. But let's go ahead and break down by some of my videos and some videos we took of some riders going by on their own, and we'll show you why getting that upper body out of the way is so important. We're gonna break down why keeping that upper body out of the way, going off the lip, is so important. Now, as always, I recommend entering in a very relaxed attack position. And then this transition here is super important to allow your body to accept the direction change as if this whole thing was a really long hill and you wanted to almost keep your speed going up. So as I go through this here, you'll notice that my body kind of shifts back as if this is one long hill. As my front wheel reaches the edge of that lip, this is when I'm going to be doing that initial wheel lift. And my upper body has to be at a point where I can almost basically kind of lean back off of the bars as I'm pushing into the pedals. Now, the only way my chest would kind of be any farther back would be as if I was trying to get this front wheel to arc higher to gain more height off this jump. But just going straight off of it, I can just have a good upper body position, not leaning over the bars. My arms are basically straight here. I've got a little bend in them. And as I go up the lip, still leaning back, kind of creating that counterweight. And then as I reach the end of the lip, this is when I'm going to be jumping off of this rear tire by using my arms to pull my body and my hips up and forward. And I'll also use my legs to kind of help jump up as well. As I do this here, reaching midway, you'll see me then kind of scoop up and roll with my forearms and roll the handlebars forward. As well, we'll start to scoop slightly with our feet to kind of complete this arc down towards the landing. And there it is. Now, if we go to a steeper lip, the same thing happens. Okay, very relaxed position. And now watch the angle of my chest kind of just accept or change as I go up this lip. As I reach the top of the lip, I start my wheel lift or my initial wheel lift, and look at where my upper body sits. Basically at a position where I can kind of lean back off the bars while pushing into my pedals, creating that rear suspension preload. My body stays kind of in this upward position, or my chest stays in this kind of upright position here as I'm traveling up the lip, and then again, I'm going to be exploding off of this rear tire here. And then I lose out of film, or lose all of blah, blah, blah. And then we come back into screen and land. What the important part to take away here is keeping this upper body at a point where you can kind of lean back off of the bars and use all this weight to your advantage. Let's go take a look at a clip of some riders maybe not using their upper body to the best of their ability. Okay, let's take a look at our first rider. And he does approach in somewhat of a relaxed position. Now let's watch his upper body as he goes through this transition or direction change. Notice how his upper body starts to get sucked down to the bars. That's because he's not really accepting this transition. And he is letting his upper body kind of get G-forced down into the bars. So now as he takes off and his front wheel, basically, if you watch the bike, it automatically starts to make an arc instead of going up in the air. And that's all because he hasn't created a counterbalance to keep this front wheel going. So as he leaves the lip, he scoots backwards to try to get that front wheel to kind of go up because he feels it diving. And you're going to honestly see him get bucked a little bit here as he leaves the lip. Right there, see his butt move up in the air right there? And now, yeah, he starts to put the rear end down. Right there, you can kind of see him put the rear end down. He's not going to make it. I will say this clip goes black. But all we need to see is him not getting that upper body out of the way. And it really makes this front wheel kind of just dive automatically. Let's go back. We're going to take a look at another rider. And as this guy enters, very relaxed, let's check out the direction change here through the transition. He's standing pretty upright, which you would think his chest is out of the way. But if you'll look at his actually body position, he's still kind of in the middle of the bike, if you will. And not really in a position to lean back. He's kind of almost pulling up on the bars. So let's watch him go up here. Okay. Same thing with that front wheel. You can kind of see it out of that rebound start to dive down. And because he is going at such a clip, and let's see if we can get this to start and stop. All right, so he is going really fast. He can make it across, and it doesn't look all that bad. But he still barely makes that, and it doesn't look all that comfortable. So leaving the lip here, we'd still want to kind of see. Notice, let's back up, because I'm just catching this now. Notice how he's on his toes here. I bet if we roll this clip forward, we're going to see this rear wheel leave the lip before it actually has reached the edge of the lip here. So let's pan forward. Okay, yeah, I mean, it leaves basically here. So what I'm assuming is actually happening here is because I haven't watched it for this, he's actually unweighting here, and you're going to watch his body fall as he leaves the lip almost. Yeah, right there. He's not standing on top of the bike because he can't, because his body weight's basically already falling. Let's check this out a little bit further. Let's investigate. Yeah, we're just unweighted. Basically, okay, notice the toes? Never driving the heels into the lip. So he's more or less reverting to that weighting down and then straight back up. There's no backwards hip movement to then go up forward. This could be easily remedied if he would, instead of just starting to jump up here, if he'd start to scoot his hips back, that would allow his arms to elongate and allow him to distribute pressure against the bars right here and kind of more be in this position. Right? Instead of his bent arms here, boom, and the chest being here, and him already on his toes when his rear wheel is only a quarter of the way up the lip. Let's compare these two guys to one of mine real quick, and then we'll just move on because this has gone on long enough. Okay, we're going to compare my form, boop, boop. All right, so as we go up, we've got our rider, okay, and he's already kind of standing up on his bike. Let's find out where my body is at. Not standing up, right? So I'm kind of pushing my heels down into the lip of the jump, right? Creating suspension preload. Now, as I am leaving the lip here, hold on. So as I am leaving the lip here, front wheel lift has gone there. Let's find out where the other rider's at. I may have been going a little faster. He might have been going faster. So let's take him forward a little bit. Okay, so his front wheel is there as it leaves. And my front wheel... Okay, so there's the height of mine. And there's the height of his. So if I do one of these, let's see if this will work. We can see that my tire is at least 6 inches taller than him, all because of my body position. And if you can kind of see it, you'll see my suspension, my rear suspension, is much more compressed and squatted than his. If we zoom in here, I can see a lot of that shock rail right there. So he's not really doing any suspension preloading. Zoom back out. Now we'll keep going. All right, now look where he is as his rear wheel leaves. Look at where he is when his rear wheel leaves. And now let's look at mine. Notice I'm still going up in the air. He's panning out. He's already kind of just, I'm only going this high. So getting this upper body to help this front wheel go in the air, super important. Okay, and we're quickly going to have a look at this rider as well. Okay, he's in, pretty relaxed position. As he goes up the lip, okay? Let's look at where I am. See his chest position versus my chest position? Let's keep him going up. Front wheel leaves, okay? Front wheel's leaving. Look at my body position here. I'm creating a counterbalance with all this upper body mass, just kind of leaning back. There might be a small, like, okay, huh, as I kind of lean back, but it's never a big jerk. So as I go forward here, okay, this is me as my rear wheel is about to leave. This is him with his rear wheel leaving. So the difference, and we'll go midway across the jump. So it all comes down to this upper body being in the right position. If this upper body is in the right position, it's going to force your hips to be in the right position, because you're going to want your upper body to be leaning back, and you're not going to be able to do that with your hips here. It's going to feel like you're actually leaning back way too far. So get your hips back, you know, look at how far they are back behind this center point here. Hips back, chest up. This chest is the most important thing, guys. I hope this all helped. Sorry the video was so long.
All right, guys. Well, I just finished editing this and realized I never did an outro in the daytime. So you're getting it here in my van at night where I do all my editing. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it gave you a way to realize you need to get your upper body out of the way so you can successfully make those jumps and those steeper lips. If you did enjoy the video, make sure you let me know in the comments. Always make sure to like, share, and subscribe. If you'd like to become a patron, we'd love to have you. The link's below. If you have any super thanks, please use my PayPal link below. We've got a ton more videos on the way. Yeah, thanks, guys. I had a blast making this one. I hope it helped.